PML, progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy. And trust me, I had to practice saying that a lot. You do not want it. Because if your JC virus levels get elevated, something like 7 in 10 of us have got JC, positive sort of propensity or whatever you call it. But if you're on natalizumab or the new generic version, which is Tyruko or something, so it's Tysabri and Tyruko, you do not want to have it if you're at risk. There's a company that's developed a genetic testing kit, and I'm going to take you through it. There's 4 gene variants which identify if you are at risk from PML, and you don't want PML because it is really, really dangerous to us. And the doctors are really, really good at testing to make sure that we're not, and monitoring us if we're on natalizumab. It's not a drug I've had, but I've spoken to many neuros, and there's an index, and people can even get slightly above it. But if the drug's doing well and the doctor looks at all their factors and everything, they might continue with that and monitor them more closely. This test is free if you live in the United States, any 50 of the US states, so it doesn't matter if it's Hawaii or Alaska or 48 of the contiguous United States. You can get this test delivered to you and conducted for free. They sent me a copy in the UK because I live near Oxford to look at and just tell you what I think. We're about to get into that video now. And I'm going to do something a little bit different for you today. I'm going to do an unboxing video, so it'll all become clear. Very quickly, this is an entirely free resource. I do it off my own back. You see, I'm sitting at my kitchen table. Oh, kitchen table. It's a small apartment table in the living room. But either way, if you can see your way to clicking the super thanks button and giving me a little bit, or Patreon, you can subscribe for a very, very low amount and essentially just help support the work of the channel, because I'm a patient, you're likely a patient, maybe you're a neurologist, who knows. But JC virus, John Cunningham virus, is a big thing if you have natalizumab. Note that this is a genetic test to see. So if you think about genetic tests for breast cancer, and it can identify the genes that put you at risk, a company called Emerald Lake Safety in California has developed this test along with a British scientist and called Ellie Hatchwell. Yeah, they won an award at Extremes. This is not some hokey thing. And they've sent me one. I said I'm not going to sell it for them. I'm not going to advertise it for them. I just want you to be aware that this is available. So let's see what this test entails. In this, we've got a little box called the Clinical Testing Collection Kit. This test is to identify you have one of 4 genes that make you more susceptible, they've identified, to developing these unsafe levels of JC virus when you're taking natalizumab or I think Tyruko, like I said. But you can get this test for free. You can send away. The people that are going to benefit are us. It's you and me. It's the patients. I was talking to Dr. Boster, who I know, and he said, yeah, there's JC levels, but some people he would consider continuing to give natalizumab to if the drug was very good, but he might increase their monitoring. So it's really sort of monthly because he doesn't want anything to slip by. But this test, I think, will tell, it's very black and white. Have you got one of these 4 genes? So specimen submission instructions. I'm just going to get it out because we've been through it. You post it back to them. So in my case, it's a FedEx envelope because I'm in the UK and they just want me to try it out and see. PML, that's it. This is the big word for the day. Progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy. That's the really bad thing. If you're JC positive, that's the risk of it. So this is PML risk test instructions. Read this first. As we used to say back in the day, RTFI, read the flipping instructions, or RTFM, read the flipping manual. So I think flipping, as you might have gathered, might not be the word used. So you can scan a QR code if you're not sure. But essentially, it's going to be spitting in a tube. So from your saliva, they can get your DNA and all sorts of things, and they can test it and see if you've got one of these 4 genes. So it's pretty simple to use. It looks like there's, I would call it a dribble cup, but Yes, I think it's very hard to spit accurately into one of those unless you're a highly accomplished 14-year-old boy at spitting. So it's so do not eat, drink, smoke, brush your teeth, or chew gum for 30 minutes before collecting your saliva sample. Remember to write your sample ID, so not your name, just your sample ID, date of birth, in the ink on the outside of the test tube. So that's why I have a pen. There's the test tube. I'll open this up. Yeah. Somebody who's got, so this is my first thing, if you've got MS and your hands are a trouble, there's actually a differential tabs on the bottom to separate, but it's still not the easiest thing. So you may want to have somebody with you, but it's saliva, RNA, DNA collection, what I call the dribble cup. And then this is the test tube, which goes in the FedEx pack, and it goes back to them. So, following the instructions provided in your kit, or scan the code for the video. Okay, that's it. It's just one side. Okay, so write your sample ID here. There's something in the tube as well. There's some sort of liquid in there, which is obviously some sort of stabilization or testing liquid. That you put your, there's no delicate way to say this, your spit in there. And here is the instructions. Store at room temperature, yes, you don't need to do anything fancy with it. It's, again, they want me to feed back to them. It's bloody impossible to read. I'm 55. I'm going to take my glasses off, even though they're varifocals. It's you put the collection on top of the tube, like this. Ooh, it actually screws on. There's me trying to brute force it. So that collection goes on top of the tube. Can't believe I'm going to be spitting on camera for you guys. Spit into the funnel until the level of liquid in the tube, not including bubbles, reaches the 4 ml line. So I'm going to have to give them 2 ml of spit because the collection fluid is 2 ml. The mark is 4 ml. So, well, my tip would be get really going with a glass of water before, which I didn't do. I think 2 cups of coffee for the morning might not be the ideal thing. I think I don't know, it's very frothy. I'm going to give it a tap. A bit more for good measure. Now I'm going to work up some spit. So yeah, I would definitely say you want to have a drink first. You want to be fully sort of hydrated, moistened, call it what you will. It's getting up there slowly. The froth is just being froth. Don't forget, it might be a little bit of hassle, but if this is going to tell you if you are carrying one of the 4 genotypes of genes that makes you susceptible to developing JC virus, and who wants progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy, PML. And so if you're a doctor, then you could tell this before. Oh, by the way, goody, I'm nearly there. I'm just talking because it's helping me get a little bit more moisture in my mouth. Shake the collection, unscrew it, blah, blah, blah. Do not swallow. Yeah, I tell you, I had no desire to swallow it. It was not easy. I would say bloody small writing. I mean, really small writing. And MS, after 31 years of MS, my glasses are one of my most expensive items because they've got fancy lenses in that help me, essentially. If I didn't have my glasses, I'd really get stuffed. So I would advise them that they made copies of these larger to include with the packet. It's put the lid on, give it a good shake. Okay. You'll get your result. It says within 3 weeks after shipping your sample. So in this, it says 3 ml info@pmlrisktest.org. So that's pmlrisktest.org. I will put that all in the description. So if you want to order the kit, it's free to you. You just go online and you fill out your details where you want it posted to. And that's it. Pop it back in the box. Your items to be returned in this kit box: complete test requisition form or printed MyPrevent summary sheet and any necessary paperwork. I think this is it's a generic collection methodology. So you'd be using this as a scientist to collect saliva samples, whatever you were testing for. In this case, it's been collected by Emerald Lake Safety to test you for your propensity, one of the 4 genes, to develop JC virus. I think I may not have my words exactly right, but you know what it means. It's important. How can I put this bluntly? No one wants to die of PML from the natalizumab. No doctor wants to have that risk with a patient developing that, because it's really bloody serious. So if this is free and can help, they tell me they're working on coming to the UK. They can't give an exact date because they need a lab in the UK and Europe, I presume, that can process the samples. Presently, they're only set up for the US. So we'll do that. Place it inside. I will double check once I finish this video that I've got everything. Goes inside the bag. Frankly, it's a hell of a hefty bag. It's the kind of bag you're going to be careful you don't end up sticking it to yourself. Again, if you're struggling with manual dexterity with MS, as many of us do, I would suggest that you had somebody with you to help you do this, because it might be a real pain in the arse if you haven't. Because things that, again, people who are not used to having any, sorry, it's rolling around and making noise. People that are not used to having a disability often overlook. So that can go in there. I'll ring up FedEx and go, please pick it up and send it back to the lab in the US. I will, of course, update you. I don't take natalizumab. I never have. I've had 5 DMTs. My final one that I ended up with a couple of years ago is lemtrada alemtuzumab. So I'm doing this to share with you guys exactly what it is that you can get. Your doctor can get it. Anyone can get in touch with this company. They're pretty new. They've just put it out there. They've come to me and other patients because they were saying, how do we make this better known? And I said, I won't sell it for you. You can't sell something that's free, but I will certainly make people aware that it's there. So if you're in the US, in any one of the 50 states, you can get this. It doesn't matter if you're in northern Alaska or the southern tip of Texas. I'm not sure what the most southern part is, but you know what I mean, New Mexico maybe. And then do this. And it's a 3-week turnaround. So it comes to you, you spit in the tube, 2 ml spit, you write your details on the test tube. Again, you might need somebody to help you. I would certainly recommend, and I would encourage them with some feedback to make the printing clearer. Maybe you just want to watch the video with the QR code. But either way, that's it. Okay? Don't forget to click, subscribe, all that good YouTuber-y stuff. There's the Buy Super Thanks button, or you can go to the Patreon link, which will also be in the bottom if you want to support the work that I do for everyone. Okay? Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye-bye.